If you're a salaried employee here in India, you know the drill, right? You get your pay slip, and bam, there it is, the Provident Fund, or PF, deduction. It's a constant in our financial lives. But what is it really? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the whole thing.
I mean, you see that amount just vanish from your pay every single month. But have you ever really stopped to wonder where that money goes? Like, for real? How is it split up, and what is it actually doing for you? Turns out it's way more than just a simple deduction. So come on, let's follow the money.
All right, let's start at square one, the absolute basics. It all begins with your contribution and, of course, your employer's contribution, both working together to build up your savings for the future.
So, every single month, a total of 24% of your basic salary gets put aside. Now, your part is super simple. Your full 12% goes straight into your Employee Provident Fund, the EPF. But here's where it gets interesting. Your employer also contributes 12%, but their portion gets split. 3.67% goes into your EPF along with yours, but the other 8.33%, well, that goes into something totally different, the Employee Pension Scheme, or EPS. Okay, so what's the big difference? This is the key thing to remember. Your EPF. Think of that as your big lump sum retirement fund, the giant pot of money you can access later on. The EPS, on the other hand, is what actually makes you eligible for a monthly pension from the government after you turn 58. That's, of course, provided you've worked for at least 10 years. So you see, two different goals all coming from one system.
Now, here's a super important little rule about that pension part. The government has put a cap on the salary used for this specific calculation, and that cap is 15,000 rupees. So let's say your basic salary is way higher, maybe 80,000 rupees. It doesn't matter. Your employer's pension contribution is still only 8.33% of that 15,000 rupees. And the rest of their contribution, well, that just gets rerouted right back into your main EPF savings pot. Pretty neat, huh?
So, you've done your part. The money gets deducted from your salary like clockwork. But how can you be absolutely sure your employer is holding up their end of the deal? This is a really serious issue, and you've got to know how to protect your own money.
It's a scary thought, isn't it? But it happens. An employer might deduct your share, but then just never deposit it. Or they might just fail to pay their own contribution. So what happens then?
Let me tell you, the law takes this incredibly seriously. The penalties are no joke. If an employer deducts your PF but doesn't deposit it, they're facing a minimum of 1 year in jail. If they just don't pay their own share, it's at least 6 months. In fact, if a company ever gets into financial trouble, your PF dues are the absolute #1 priority. They have to be paid out before they can even pay back bank loans. That's how protected your money is.
So, how do you check? Well, the good news is it's super simple. Just log in to your UAN portal online and click on your passbook. You should see a monthly entry from your employer clear as day. If you ever see a gap, if a month is missing, don't wait. Bring it up with your HR department right away. Or, you know what? You can even file a complaint directly with the EPFO online. It's your money. You gotta keep an eye on it. Okay, so your account is active, it's funded, everything's looking good. Awesome. But what happens when you switch jobs? All of a sudden, you get a new PFA account, and now you have 2 of them. What are you supposed to do?
Okay, listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. Transferring your old PF balance to your new account is something you have to do. Why? Well, first you want to make sure all of your money keeps earning that sweet, sweet interest. An old account that's just sitting there will actually stop earning interest after 3 years. And second, it brings your entire work history together, which is so important for making sure you qualify for that pension we talked about earlier.
And you know what the best part is? This whole process used to be a huge pain, but now it's incredibly simple, and it's all online. You just log into your UAN portal, head over to Online Services, and follow the steps under One Member, One EPF. You submit the request, your employer gives it the okay, and the EPFO handles the rest. Seriously, it's that easy. All right, let's get to the big one, the question everyone has. It's my money, so when can I actually get my hands on it? Well, the rules are pretty strict, but they're designed to help you out during some of life's biggest moments.
Okay, here's the #1 thing to understand, the difference between a partial withdrawal and a full one. You absolutely cannot, I repeat, cannot withdraw your full PF while you are still employed, period. But you can take out a chunk of it, what's known as an advance, for some very specific reasons. And those reasons cover some pretty big life events and emergencies. We're talking about things like your marriage or your kids' education, medical crises, buying a home or a piece of land, even for paying off a home loan or doing some renovations. Each one has its own specific rules, of course, but the option is there when you need it.
So when can you finally make a full withdrawal? Well, this is primarily for when you leave a job and find yourself unemployed. After 1 month of being unemployed, you can take out up to 75% of your total PF balance. Then, if you're still unemployed after a full year, you can go back and withdraw that final 25%.
And besides unemployment, there are really only 2 other situations where a 100% withdrawal is allowed: when you hit the official retirement age of 58, or in the very unfortunate event of a permanent disability that stops you from being able to work.
Phew, okay. We have covered a lot, right? How it works, how to protect it, how to access it. So after all that, what's the main thing you should walk away with? It's this. Your Provident Fund is not just some automatic deduction that you have no say in. It is one of the most powerful, legally protected, long-term financial tools that you have. And understanding how it works, well, that gives you control over your own financial future. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Now that you know the rules of the game, what's the first action you're going to take? Are you going to go check your passbook? Maybe finally consolidate those old accounts? Or maybe just feel a little more empowered the next time you look at your payslip? Whatever it is, now you're in control. Thanks for tuning in.